Good morning everyone, and welcome to Rob and Suzi's allotment adventure part 7. It's Sunday the 18th of June 2023, Father's Day. Special mention to Sarah Heath, who apparently is my #1 fan from Bedford. Hi Sarah. We'll just give you a little look round, see what we've done. We've actually had some rain last night, which is a miracle. Not enough to really dampen things, but it's a start. We'll get some later today. Fingers crossed. See, there's a little bit of moisture in there. Not a lot happening down here, apart from we have got somewhere in there is a little baby toad who's living up to the adage of build it and they will come, but he's come a little bit too early because the pond isn't finished, but he's living his best life in amongst these foxgloves, because I have to water these every night in the pots to keep them alive, and he's been seen jumping in and out of there. Whenever I water, he jumps out, and as soon as I finish watering, he jumps back in again. So he's living his best life. Flowers still going well. Daisies, and then we come to the brassica cage, which used to be a gazebo frame. Well, it is a gazebo frame, but it's going to be repurposed. Hopefully, if you can see the rail up here, going to have a sliding door on some curtain rails, use some scaffolding netting, debris netting, whichever you want to call it. Fix it around permanently around the other things, peg it to the ground, and then have a sliding door so I can get in and out, and then we can move it to the other beds when we do the plot rotation. There's a bed here which obviously is going to have the cauliflowers, sprouts, cabbage, all that sort of stuff in there, and then next year I'll move it to this bed that's now got the potatoes in. That'll hop over there, and then planning 2 years in advance, there's another bed over there that's got more potatoes in the other side of the, can't really see the other side of the soft fruits, and it can go over there. Got another blank bed here still. This is waiting for the leeks to go in when it's rained substantially, because it's still, let's have a little look at and see what. Yes, it's still like dust, so I'll wait until one evening this week, hopefully if we get some considerable rain. And no, I'm not growing pebbles. This is a simulation of where my sweet corn plants are going to go. I've got this bed here on the left, which are 15 plants at 15-inch spacings, and then I've got 30 odd plants here at 9-inch spacings. Had so much conflicting advice, various YouTube things and publications, internet. So seems over this year is a learning year. We'll give it a bash, see what comes best, see what pollinates best. They're all the same variety, so we don't have to worry about cross-pollination, which apparently is a bad thing, because they pollinate on the wind. So you've got to keep the same varieties together. If you wanted 2 varieties, you have to put them opposite ends of the garden, so I'm led to believe, so they don't cross-pollinate each other and it messes all the plants up. And the little pots are just to simulate where my beans are going to go, because I'm going to grow some beans up the sweet corn, but the sweet corn's only about 10 inches tall at the minute, so I might have to put the sweet corn in and then plant the beans, just climbing beans, put the beans up and put us just a cane for them to grow up until the sweet corn overtakes them, and then we can just let them go as intended. Onions doing well, carrots finally coming through. This was nicely weeded last weekend, but even with a lack of moisture, the weeds come through really quick. But I have been watering. I'm trying to keep the water to just where the carrots are. Apparently if you water the onions, and if it's been dry, you water the onions, they go to seed. And I have had one or two that's gone to seed, so I've just chopped the seed heads off. Unfortunately, one of my raspberry plants decided to snap, and I've come up here and another one is half broken off. I think that either blackbirds or something substantial is trying to land on the top to get at the fruit, even though there isn't any fruit on. You can see there where the fruits are going to come. It's where the flowers were. I think something's been resting on the top and they can't take the weight because I haven't got them in a proper frame around them yet. I shall know for next time. You can see this one has snapped off here below the cane, and they're quite a woody plant. They don't just go over on their own, so I think something's been trying to rest on the top and they haven't been able to take the extra weight, unless I've got a phantom raspberry snapper, I don't know. Main crop spuds, happy with them. And then here, some of them looking a bit sorry for themselves, is the halfway house for my brassicas. There's cauliflower in there, cabbage I think, some broccoli, there's the climbing beans that are going to go up the sweet corn. I've had to bring them out here because I had to put them in the greenhouse to keep the birds off until I got the brassica cage done, but they really didn't appreciate the hot weather and they started to wilt, so they've had to come out here, keep the birds off. There's a decking, going to get stained. Now it's a bit cooler, I can come up and do an hour after work, get these stained and finish, well, start and do the pathways and put proper borders in. Dumping ground is not so much of a dumping ground now, just the slate to move now. Hopefully I'm going to build a cold frame here, somewhere where I can harden plants off in the spring when they come out from the greenhouse before they go in the garden, and also in the summer grow some lettuce and baby leaf and that sort of stuff. Something that's a quick turnaround, high compost content in the ground, in the soil, and hopefully grow something like that. Spring onions are doing better outside than they were they seem to have picked themselves up. Better than they were in the little polytunnel thing, greenhouse. Leeks looking nice and strong, most of them. There's one there that's flopped over. They're waiting to go in the ground as soon as we've had some moisture. And then into the greenhouse. Here's all the sweet corn, which is now, it's been singled out into pots, and they hopefully should have a nice root ball. I can lift them out of the pots get them nice and wet before I try and take them out of the pots, because they don't like the roots being disturbed, and just pop them in one great big, oh dear, that's noisy, module. That's where they came out of. I've got 49 plants out of 2 of those plug things from Asda. Tomatoes, one's starting to get in a few flowers. They need to go in my grow bags. That's the job for today and this evening. It's a bit cooler, thankfully. I've got a tub here. I don't know how it's gonna. There's a tub which is an old water barrel I'll cut down. It's looking a bit deformed. Hopefully when I get it full of compost it'll regain its shape. And then the grey thing here, frame, that's going either side. I'm going to drill some holes in the tub, cable tie the legs, and then not grow the plants up the metal bits, but bring some strings down from the top hoop there down to that hoop, and then tie the string to the lid, tie it, drill some holes in there, and then bring some strings up, and then the cucumbers will grow up there and then spread. Because here's the cucumbers, they're desperately going in a better condition. They are growing nicely, but they're going yellow. The handy thing is you Google this stuff. Obviously it's my first year growing anything,